Hello, and welcome back to Dustful at Chaotic Neutral Games. I'm Rodrigo. I'm going to be your storyteller for tonight as we join in Kevin, Kat, Mike, and Simon with the repercussions of their actions in Dustful. Don't forget that you can join in the chaos by clicking the Discord link in the channel info, or, throw money at us by becoming a subscriber. So let's not keep everyone waiting and join everyone in the city of ghosts and broken dreams in John Harper's Blades in the Dark. Hello, everyone. So, how is everyone doing this fine Tuesday evening / afternoon? It's
Kinda
actually
good.
midday.
Yeah.
I'm tired and bad. How about that?
Oh dear.
I'm kidding.
Incredible.
I'm kidding.
I'm an art student. How do you think I'm doing? But I have a seagull mug, so
Life is shit, but I got seagulls.
How are you doing, Mike? You're the only one who hasn't confirmed whether you're doing good or bad, so.
I'm working that out. That's why. I
Incredible.
have an undetermined amount of both good and bad.
Well, let's see how
So solve for values of X.
Yeah.
Solve for values,
Solve for values of X. All right. Let's see how your characters are doing because, boy, last session was a big one.
Yeah.
Was it? Was it? I can't
Why?
remember.
I think it was for me. I think it was for me,
We
but
went to a
yeah,
lovely
like
stately home, took the tour. Yeah.
yeah. All right. So the next few days or week in Dustful is some of the weirdest you've ever experienced. The sudden death of Lord Strangford is the talk of the town for, again, it will be the talk of the town for God knows how long to come. But it feels particularly relevant now. People, like workers, both in Coleridge and some of the sailors and the dockers are quietly celebrating. Char Hollow is in Char Hollow is in open fucking celebration. But other places are doing it quietly. The nobility, obviously, the city council, the families of the city council have all come and they put on appearances. They've all given the whole, he was taken from us too soon. He was such a bright pillar of the community, etc. And you can't tell, actually, Cass, you can tell. There is daggers in between the words. There is relief. There is calculations being made and remade as
and a certain amount of shit. I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. Heaven has another
Thoughts and
angel.
prayers. Yeah, absolutely. And it's not too long, like 1 or 2, like I want to say like 2 days afterwards, there is a hastily put funeral service before his body is willingly given by the Strangford estate to the spirit wardens for cremation. So, which is good news in your guys' eyes, because at least it says there won't be a ghost.
Yeah, I did make the mistake of saying something stupid that I'm glad you didn't pick up on when we were saying, oh, well, he's hardly a threat now. He's dead. And I went, hang on, this is Blades in the Dark.
Exactly.
Thankfully, you've just said the words that made me a lot happier, and that is, I only have to worry about my ghost.
I mean, something you have to bear in mind, Simon, is that one of the things I can roll that can happen as a result of me rolling for a random encounter is called Unquiet Dead.
Yep.
So we'll see. Is all I'm saying.
I'm going to hold my tongue in future. Yes.
Okay, so let's begin simply by where we left off last time. We're gonna be doing your one downtime action. One, because you're still at war with the Circle of Flame, which means that you're still being shunned, you're still being denied, you're still being... Your orders are getting canceled without your knowledge, that sort of thing. Your Uber Eats driver ate your fucking food on the way over to deliver it to you. That sort of thing. Because of the weird way last session went down, I'm gonna say that Kat, you're not gonna get your downtime action this time around because you did yours last session. So if that's okay, simply to keep it level. All right. So let's start with Slate. Slate, what is your downtime action?
I'd like to try and recover.
Good idea.
Now have,
by the way, just as a
3
reminder,
harm.
yeah, as a reminder, you
Or
now
two
have the
on
harm.
bottom.
Yeah.
I kept a note of that for the end of the session and automatically added that in. So I have shocked, woozy, and life in inches, which was how close you beat me. So I've got some coin as well, and I kind of was given a lot of coin at the end of last session so that I could sink it into projects. But if I don't shift some of this harm, I'm going to need to, I'm not going to get very far with other things if I don't get rid of the harm. So I've got halfway on my progress clock for what I already had last time. But how do we go ahead with that?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do the roll for the doctor, not doctor, Physiker that you're seeing. So give me a moment.
Yeah. Because clicking on healing seems to give me a dice roll to do, but I don't know what I then put in.
I'll be doing it for you because the way I read it on the book, it's supposed to represent the skill of the person you're seeing. So
okay.
Which is why for when Checkers gets any healing done, I roll 2 die and take the lowest result. But yeah, for you, if I remember correctly, if I think you fill in two spaces, I'm gonna check that really quickly. I don't know why it's not in the quick reference sheet. Sorry. Yeah, you fill in 2 segments on your healing clock.
Okay, so that's filled my healing clock as I already had 2 segments filled in from last time.
So
what will that impact?
When you feel your, I'm gonna read what the book says. When you fill your healing clock, reduce each instance of harm on your sheet by 1 level, then clear the clock. If you have more segments to mark, they roll over. So all your level 1s disappeared, and your level 2 becomes a level 1.
Oh, I see. Okay, right. Fair enough. Okay, that makes sense.
It's good that you heal everything at once. Actually, I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of concerned that it would be only 1 and then have to do more actions. So I'm going to put more money in the hands of this very good physician who's doing great work.
Absolutely.
And I would like to take another action on healing.
All right. So spend the coin or the rest.
I still have 3. Yeah, I still have 3 coin left from the last job.
Okay.
But I only have one more thing to get.
You only feel 1 more segment.
Okay. What's the max I can get out of 1 treatment, out of interest?
I think with a critical, you can fill in 5 segments. So you fill an entire clock, and then you get an extra, Like you get one on
Okay.
your next.
So if I do this one more time, there is a chance I can get 3.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
All right. Sure. U.S. healthcare over here. Uh.
um,
Give me a moment. I'm just gonna quickly reread the healing rule. I just don't want to give you false information. Yes, 6 3 segments, critical 5 segments. Okay. Hey, would you look at that? You feeling 3 segments?
yeah, you know what? I'm just a lucky bastard, so I always like pushing my luck on these sorts of mechanics.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
so that fills my chart again. I'm getting rid of the final remaining harm, and I'm coming back,
Fucking
singing, dancing.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
that this takes the entire week, right?
yeah. So
Considering
I still have coin in pocket, but I'm holding on to that. Yeah, that's sensible. I agree.
yeah, this takes the entire week. Like you made sure to this Physiker that you were gonna make it worth his time, and by God you did. So he
Mhm.
just cleared all appointments for the rest of the week, and he only saw you. All right.
So also people die by
Right.
proxy. We're good at this, people.
Yeah, I'm gonna name this guy because I think I'm gonna have to refer him to my friends.
Yeah,
So this
absolutely.
was Dr. Combs. He's
Holmes.
uh,
Okay.
great at what he does.
He sure is. Give me a moment. I just want to write that down.
Yep.
I'm basing the name is taken from a previous Blades of the Dark character I played, so I'll remember it.
Oh yeah.
If you don't, but yeah, Dr. Combs is he's very good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Checkers. What is your downtime action?
Well, actually, wanted to start on my new project.
Sorry, long-term project. Cool.
Yes.
So that's gonna be a 12-part clock.
Mhm.
What is the project you're working on?
Dog.
So you're indulging your vice.
Yeah, but um I wanted to see some progress in it, so I don't know if I don't know how to go about doing that. Like,
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you mechanically right now. Do you want to clear stress, or do you want to see this thing completed?
mm, actually, let me just indulge the vice. Yeah, because I'm stressed.
I don't think any of us came out of that unstressed or unharmed.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
5.
I
Okay.
overindulge.
Overindulge. Okay. So and this, weirdly enough, this is exactly the result I wanted. So checkers, you lose yourself in your work, like you always do. That's how you
Lose
unwind.
yourself
That's
in
how
the
you.
music the moment you own it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you. That's how you relax. That's how you unwind.
Mm.
And at the end, you've done it. You somehow managed to create a not a perfect, but you managed to create a Hall replica of your dog. It's done. You did it.
What?
Yeah, you did it.
Go you, buddy. Nothing bad's going to come from this at all.
However,
Yeah.
you feel. I mean, you're happy. You are absolutely happy. It's probably. I think this is the happiest Wilczek has been in a while. But after as you're petting your newfound robotic dog, you're now thinking, what do I do now? So I'm gonna count this as you being tapped. Your current purveyor cuts you off. Find a new source for your vice.
Oh, clever. He hasn't got advice because he got to the end of it.
Yes.
Nice.
It's it's early adopter syndrome. You've got that first build of the dog, but you've realised now that maybe when they upgrade and you want the new model, what do you do with the old dog? It's a
But
bit
yeah,
of
so
a heartbreak.
But the other one
you're-
has lasers.
I want a dog with lasers. Who wouldn't want a dog with lasers?
Why
Okay,
wouldn't
so-
you want a dog with lasers?
I can think
mean,
of many reasons actually.
I can think of many reasons why I would want a dog with lasers. Are you kidding
This
me?
way, it's getting in the
I would
fridge now.
just hold it and you just kill your enemy. Cool,
If
man.
you laser the couch again, I am rubbing your nose in it.
I just like the idea of a fucking dog that you hold and it becomes a fucking melt-a-gun from Warhammer 40k, a fucking
Yes.
microwave gun.
And
But
then you have to
a melter
feed
gun
it.
that's wagging its tail and thinking this is the best day
I
ever.
did good.
Yeah.
I did good.
You're like,
All right.
who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Okay. So that's you, Checkers. Do you want to spend coin or reputation to do more downtime actions?
Do I
Or
clear stress at all, or?
like no, you do clear stress. So you clear all stress,
All right.
but because you clear more stress than you had, you overindulge.
Okay, wait. So I have a question, and this
Shoot.
it can be mechanical or story wise.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Is the soul there? Or is
You
it
know
just
what? I'm gonna say
an
yes.
automatic?
I'm just gonna say yes.
Okay.
Eep.
Okay, it depends on how it goes this session. Wilczek might not be here this next session. Because that was the end game. What? All right, cool. I'm all for it. Let's go. Let's continue. Yeah.
Writing quickly down, kill off Checkers.
Oh my god, that would be so. I mean, it would be so
Plot
cool.
twist: the dog
Yeah.
tries to resurrect you.
Yeah.
Next
Just
week
a
we're playing
cycle
the
of
dog.
necromancy.
Yeah, I was about to say next week Kev plays the dog.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so
The
I'm gonna count that as
circle
your
of life.
downtime being
And-
done.
No one can say I'm a furry because it's a robot dog. It doesn't have fur. So
I mean, I wasn't saying anything, but you do you.
don't judge
Anyways.
me.
Jacob, what's your downtime?
So I'm going to have 2 downtimes. I'm going to use some of that excess coin I got before to get a second downtime action.
All right, sure.
So the first downtime action is, of course, get rid of heat, because man, have we got heat. Um,
I feel like I may have been a little too soft with heat last time because you guys were like, I think are like 2 away, like 2 away from another wanted level.
3 actually, but yeah, still,
A
my
3.
God. So yeah, I want to open that margin up as much as I can.
All right, so tell me,
And-
how is Jacob Pry reducing heat?
We talked a little bit about this before. Pride, in his chessboard kind of way, is looking at everything around the newly deceased lord, and he needs to know who would be willing to take the heat for this, to take it even though they know they didn't kill him. Who would be willing to turn around and say openly that they were glad that he was gone. Now, it doesn't have to be a person. It can be a faction. You said that they were openly. What's the word? Charhollow.
Hated?
It was
Charhollow,
Charhollow.
yeah.
Sorry, Charhollow. The people of Charhollow were openly celebrating. So it'll be either them or someone like them. And once he studied for the people who are even maybe whispering, was it one of us? Did we do it? We need to ask everybody. Did anybody do that? Because some people could have been plotting it already. As soon as I get a sniff of that, I will be promoting it and embellishing it and all the rest of it. One flavour thing to it is that the information that I do embellish will turn out that it was personal, not business.
To be fair, you're not even lying.
Yeah, I have extra reasons to say that, but yes, this person dying was personal, not business, and I'm going to divert heat from us.
All right.
Enough reasonable doubt and enough intrigue that it's repeatable, playing the gossip. Because this is me looking into it all, I'm going to use study for a change.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll study. You're not no position, no effect.
No effect,
Doesn't
yeah.
count for this.
Yep. And so let's see how we do. It's a 2. So doesn't look like we're doing very well.
Yeah.
How much
So-
do you get off for a 2?
So you reduce. Also, by the way, Simon, can you please cap Kevin? He's quickly leaving
sure.
to get his
No
food.
problem.
Yeah. For a 2, you just reduce 1 heat. So here's the thing. You managed to get a bit of heat off of you, but you learned something about Char Hollow. Char Hollow may have been openly celebrating the death of Lord Strangford. But there's something you have to bear in mind about Char Hollow is that Char Hollow, despite being one of the poorer districts in Dustful, it's also one of the more tight-knit communities in the entire city.
Yeah.
Right? And the last thing, they're the reason of like, they're the whole thing of like, you mess with one of us, you mess with the entire district. That sort of thing. Right? It's why you weirdly don't see much criminal activity in Char Hollow, despite being right next to Crowsfoot, because it's hard to run an extortion racket when the neighbor tells you that they're being extorted, and then the entire block comes down on the extorters, you know?
Yeah.
So there's something along those lines going on. They're happy that Lord Strangford is dead, but if someone starts saying that they did it, that's probably going to bring issues to the entire community.
Sure.
All right. So you managed to plant a bit of the seed of doubt. You managed to like more or less get people like the whole thing of like conflicting reports, right? But not many people here are willing to take the blame for it. It
Sure.
would be trouble for everyone else.
Yeah, so they provide a lot of counter information going, no, we would have wanted to, but we didn't. Yeah. Okay, I'll go with that. I'm gonna make a note of that specifically because of future plans. So
Cool.
Dusk Hollow, yeah? Dusk Hollow.
Char Hollow.
Char Hollow, sorry.
Yeah.
Char Hollow. My second thing, because I want to be of some use this session, is I'm going to indulge in my vice, and
Cool.
with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stress, I think this is going to be a.
I think this is a good time to indulge vice, yeah.
So no bonus dice on this, and
6.
yeah, with a 6, that is exactly what I needed. So
After talking and studying and making plans and calculations, for a moment, you are dead to the world, and the world is dead to you. You come out surprisingly refreshed. So yeah. Fuck, 6 stress from 7. Yeah,
I'm going to say 6 from 7, and I'm going to give the personal reasons. The personal reasons for this is that Jacob has never been more jacked. As far as he's concerned, the last score went incredibly well. He knows that there was always going to be part of this war, part of the business as a whole, which always meant upping the ante. You always were going to need to put more in the pot, and that was always going to be risk that you put into the pot. He was prepared for that, more than prepared. He is spending a lot of time now, instead of hiding from it, which originally when the Dark Hole solution was looking a little ropey and not quite as capable as we've proved ourselves to be, getting ourselves out of some pretty nasty situations. He was afraid of the reputation of the group. Now he's not afraid of the reputation of the group. Now, as far as he's concerned, everything's happening in the right order. He doesn't care that, we are building up this risk. He is happier now to get things done. He knows there's a lot of extra heat, but he also knows that this is part of the game. You don't step onto this game board unless you know the game. And when he comes back, he is fresh as a daisy. Which, considering he's been off his tits on opium, and coming out of that, it is the worst look ever, second only to heroin. He's looking pretty good, pretty happy.
I'm glad.
Nice. Sorry about that, everybody.
No problem.
All good. Also, I just quickly reviewed a rule because I wasn't sure it worked. Last score filled was enough to fill up your reputation bar again.
Ooh.
So right now it works in a little bit different. You when you became tier 1, your hold was weak. Your status as a tier 1 faction was weak. People had doubts about you, right? Now that the reputation bar has filled up again, you're still tier 1, but now your hold is strong. People actually take the dark hole solution seriously. So if you were to go up to someone and say, we're part of the dark hole solution, or we work for the dark hole solution, they will take you seriously as far as tier 1 factions go. So yeah.
Okay. I'd like to think that part of that was when we first challenged the Ring of Fire?
Circle of Flame.
Circle of
Flame.
Yeah.
The Ring of Fire.
I was about to say the Ring of Fire was that. Yeah. When we first went up against the Circle of Flame, everybody's like idiots. What are they going up to? Now that people have got accustomed to the idea, they're kind of like, oh yeah, didn't you know? Yeah, they got a thing for the Circle of Flame.
I mean, they still think you're idiots. It's just they take you a bit seriously more. Yeah. Seriously now.
Cool. They don't even know what we've done. So yeah.
We're idiots with the gun, so.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So, that's downtime all done. So, you guys have the floor. What is going on in the Dark Hole Solution? What are your plans? What are your hopes?
Oh, buddy. I'm packing up.
What?
Yep.
What do you mean?
I'm putting everything that I own and maybe things that I don't in my bag, and you just see Bill Chick just cleaning the workshop and putting everything back. Just throws the mask away and just thrown into the workshop, but bring everything in a little suitcase. Everything
Are you all right? What's the matter?
Okay. Brilliant news. I'm out. I made it. Look.
There's, as he points, there is a small metallic looking dog that is just sitting next to him.
It's Radoslaw. He's back.
Your project.
That's brilliant. Why are you packing up?
I'm done. This is what I wanted to do all along. Bring my friend back. Now we travel the world. Now we go and actually get some acrossy sea breeze on our faces. We're going on vacation.
Somewhat.
And it was
sudden.
all thanks to you guys for having faith in Radoslaw and Checkers.
Rodrigo, I would like to
Yeah.
do a roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to be study again, actually, because study a person is the very first thing that's on it. If I succeed, I would like to make the correlation between him and the mask as I watch him throw the mask away.
All right.
I fail.
Yeah, you do. I was already thinking about like, oh shit, what am I supposed to say if he succeeds? Oh, he failed, thank God.
Oh, if I succeeded, I would have picked up the mask and put it in the fire.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. But yeah, Checkers is probably the hardest person you've ever learned how to read. To the point that you're not even sure that you learned how to read him, simply because of how erratic and unpredictable he is.
Yeah. So I don't know if any of you are comfortable with this, but I just give everybody a huge fucking hug, like every single person, just out of my just just pure happiness, and I just say, you don't know how much this means to him.
Oddly, accepts the hug.
All right.
This was rather sudden, but obviously none of us is going to stand in your way. You've been a loyal friend, and hope that should you return, should when you return we're still here. I have a feeling that once we finish doing what we're doing, we'll be somewhere else.
You should catch up with me in the Akarosi Isles. Yeah.
If we'll be received as friends, who knows?
I don't know where I'm going. Maybe we won't, and maybe we can move shop over there.
I can see that you're eager to leave, but do you have one more score in you? Call it travel money.
I look at the dog, then I look at the mask. Or I'm gonna roll something real quick.
I was just saying, if not, you've got to roll up your next character really quickly.
Yeah. All right. I go running towards the mask and just say, hell yeah. Let's do one more.
Oh shit! I'm gonna roll again. After doing that, and that's glaringly obvious.
I would like to think that the dog recoils in a little bit
4.
of mistrust.
Yeah, 4. So you do it, but
I
consequence.
Sure. I'll take my consequence in a minute. I'll go up, put my hand on Checker's shoulders, and go on his shoulder, and says, "My friend, it was an offer, not pressure." Picks up the mask, and one should never be pressured. And I sling the mask into the fire.
Actually, let's do consequence. Let's do it like this. What does Checkers do?
Yeah, full Smeagol, man. I'm sorry. I'll go full Smeagol.
So for the way I'm gonna rule it out is consequence for a 4. Sure, you threw the mask into the flame, but now Checkers gets a freebie on you.
Yeah.
Well, he said Smeagol, not Gollum.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the mask yet.
Yeah, but I'm gonna leave the consequence.
Yeah, I go after the mask, and while it's burning, I'll try to pick it up, burn myself, the fingertips, and okay.
I'll
One
try
more.
to interject. I'll try to interject.
One more, and I'm done with this bullshit.
You can leave. No. You're out. You've already packed your things. You have your best friend. And when that turns to ash, you'll be free.
Is it wooden or is it metal?
It's metal.
Oh, it's metal. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, it is. And you're not going to be here to see it. Take your friend. And live a good life. And I'm standing in front of the fire.
All right.
I pull a coin out. Pouch coin. Travel well.
I would reject the offer, because I do have 3 coins in my stash, so I'm set for life.
Good. Now go have one.
It was a pleasure.
Parts of it were. For us, you were a pleasure. Now fuck off, old man.
Wilczek turns around and just takes one last look at the workshop and just calls. The dog. I need to remember his name, Radislaw. I will write it down in the Discord.
Yeah, good idea.
All right, cool.
As you leave,
Yeah.
Checkers, as you're preparing to leave,
Mm-hmm.
you notice underneath the door there is an envelope. It has a stamp, an eye surrounded by a ring of fire.
I can't read.
Yeah, but
I'm kidding,
you're the
I'm
one who
kidding,
finds
I'm
it.
kidding.
You're the one
Yeah,
who
I'm
finds
kidding.
it, so.
As soon as I find it, pick it up. Pastor Jacob, one last thing. I think this might convince you otherwise. Kicking me out just yet.
I take the letter. What does it say?
You slice open the envelope, right? And inside there is a letter, obviously, right? To the Dark Cult Solution. You've been cordially invited to a formal meeting at the Silver Stack Casino. We would like to discuss recent events. The 7.
Oh, so now they want me there.
I don't read it out whilst Checkers is here.
I'm looking over your shoulder.
Sure. I refold it and say to Checkers, there's a Scovish sloop, the Drunken Kite. It leaves in an hour and a half. And I turn and hand the letter to Cass and say, we have some preparations to do.
Copy that, Chief.
I put the letter in my pocket, and I run up and hug Checkers. And then I just let go really quickly, turn, and walk away.
Yeah.
So,
Radoslav would follow you, by the way.
nice.
Yeah.
I turn around and I give him a little scritch.
Slate,
Good dog. Good
Scratch the
dog.
paperwork.
Slate, you've been awfully quiet. What do you make of this entire situation?
So I'm thinking I'm actually absent most of this.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'll allow that.
Yeah, basically, if I'm in treatment for like at least a week to sort all these things out, I'm expecting that there'll be a scene. I'm returning to the hideout, having been absent, and the workshop's empty. Um, Checkers is nowhere to be seen, and I'm like, what's going on? I missed something.
I'm with Cass. We've got what is effectively a goldfish bowl, and I've got the mask in a pair of tongs going, I knew fire wouldn't do anything. It's bloody symbolic. It's just a fucking mask after all. And I'm pouring acid onto the mask.
You know, the bowl's probably going to go before the metal does. Yeah.
No. Actually, acid does nothing to glass. So that is good.
Oh,
You know what?
Local,
I'm gonna do a
you
fortune
think
roll to
local-
see if this works.
local glass is that pure,
It doesn't.
yeah?
Jacob, I like to kid myself that I'm your intellectual equal now. We both know that's not true, but I can pretend. What the hell are you doing?
Getting rid of the mask just in case he ever comes back.
What does the mask have to do with anything?
I haven't got a clue, but he changes every time he touches the bloody thing.
I sort of lift my hand and go, do you know just out there?
No, not now. Just steady hands. Steady
There's a
hands.
canal that's deep enough to lose this thing in.
I look up. Then I look at Cass, especially after the intelligence comment, and go, well, obviously. But then don't finish the sentence.
I'm getting big Percy the Rollo vibes right now.
Yeah. Hey,
Anyway,
first thing that came to his head was acid, so he just went for it. So I go, Cass.
so
He just burned his fingers to try and get it back. He will dive in the canal if he catches wind of that.
Good point. I mean, we could have given it to a blacksmith, I guess.
burnt his finger. What? What have I? What? Where is he? What is that? And
He's gone.
why do I care?
He's gone.
Let's
Actually-
do that in the. Wait,
Checkers has taken
he's
the
gone.
good retirement.
Fair dues. Good on him. Excellent.
Also, and I hand you the letter, we're going to get some backup on this. Start asking around. We need a friend.
I'm just wait. And I sort of walk off into one of the other rooms for a minute, and I sit down and I read through the letter, and I gather my thoughts. I come back and go, I really thought I was clear-headed before I came in here. Can we just slow for a second? Our friend, yeah, our friend has left. Maybe that means we're changing our motif a little bit. Our enemies are inviting us to gamble, and we're considering doing it.
We're also out of coffee.
I feel like coffee
Yeah,
would
that
help
wasn't me.
this
I've not been here
situation.
all
Shall
week.
I?
If you don't mind, old man.
Come on, guys. This isn't necessary.
What part?
Yeah, my head's starting to hurt. I was not ready for things to change like this. What is going on next? Just fill me in, or I'm going to go and sit on the roof and wait until it's all sorted out.
Checkers is gone. The Circle of
Yes.
Flame are running some sort of gambit, either to lure us into a trap or to try and manipulate us. Those anything more silver-lined than that, I don't intend to entertain. We have to, obviously, address their invitation one way or another. Especially considering it turns up at our fucking door.
Yeah.
And we
So
have to get a win out of this.
I mean, clearly with checkers gone, our usual approach of just blowing the building up with them inside isn't entirely an option.
I'm
But
kind
that's
of glad of that.
surely what they're expecting.
Now, that would be an expectation to play with, wouldn't it? In fact, his absence could indeed keep them on their toes. But yes, we have to deal with it as we've dealt with everything. No, not as we've dealt with everything else, because as you say, that is the aforementioned burning building. No. One of two things is going to come out of this. Either they're going to try to manipulate us, and we have to be one step ahead to make sure that we come out with what we want. That's either with our heads still firmly attached to our bodies, or coming out on top and hitting them with such a blow that it's devastating. One of the options, of course.
Sorry.
One of the options, of course, is that we let them win, or let them think they win, and we go dark again.
So I turn to Cass and I'm holding the letter still. This casino, you've been there before. You're familiar with the place.
You are, Cass.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
Till they
Whose
kicked me out.
building is it? Whose building is it?
It belongs to Lady
Madame Teslin.
Madame Teslin, yeah.
That's the one.
Who we've already identified as one of the 7.
Yeah, so it's enemy territory.
Absolutely. They
So
they kicked me out a
considering
few months
this?
back.
Why are we considering this at all? I mean, I'm not entirely the strategist here, but the tactician. We don't walk peacefully into the enemy headquarters.
No, we don't.
They know where we
put
live, and we
insurance
need to
in this.
defend this place.
Agreed. But the thing is, if they wanted
This
to
isn't
mount,
trench. This isn't.
if they wanted to
This
mount
isn't
an
trench
attack,
warfare.
Slate. If they wanted to mount an attack, they would have done it directly. It wouldn't be a letter coming through the door. It would be poison powder, or it would be an explosive, or it would be a band of heavies, or because we are so bloody wanted right now, it would be one of the other factions.
Jacob, I'm gonna give you this for free. When he says headquarters, something starts turning in your head. Roll me 2d6.
Nope, wrong brackets. 2 and 2.
4. 2 and 2. Damn. Okay. There is a hint of an idea when he says headquarters, but you can't put your finger on it yet. Right. Go on.
Just read us the letter again.
It's a very sorry, I didn't know that you were telling that to me. It's a very simple letter. It's, there is more empty space in this letter than you're accustomed to. It's simply addressed as thus. It's addressed to the Dark Hole Solution, right? Not naming anyone. The Dark Hole Solution. We would like to discuss, you are cordially invited to the Silver Stack Casino. We would like to discuss recent events. Right? The 7. And, we will be waiting. Signed, the 7.
This is bluff and double bluff, action and counteraction. First of all, if they wanted a mount or attack, if they just wanted us simply dead, then they would come and attack us. Simply luring us into there so that they can just kill us off on their own property. It may just be that they're double bluffing something complex for something simple, but it could be that they think that they want to outsmart us.
What if they need us?
Possible. Also, our recent dispatchment wasn't a friend of theirs, as it turns out. We've shown that we can deal a blow to the city. This, for some people who thrive in the city.
Their fight has been entirely stealth. They're not looking to have goons turn up at our door and attack us in that sense. They have tried to slander us. Their ongoing campaign of stopping our Uber Eats deliveries is still present and important. Okay? If they were looking to do something different, we'd have found it here and now. Bringing us to their turf has two possibilities. You've listed one. The other is to get us out of this building.
So that they can get the eye I wasn't born
Yes.
yesterday. You think I didn't consider this?
Pride, you are too tied into the mechanics of the game you're playing. You think it's your turn to make a move because they just made a move.
No. They've made a move and they haven't finished making
We don't have to play.
I don't intend
to play.
Do you realise we could
then
walk out of here?
Ignore the letter and do the next thing. Just do the next thing. Ignore the letter.
So you're saying that we shouldn't move the Eye of Kotar and ourselves out, set this place up as a death trap, go off and have the...
Oh my God, what have I been doing for the last 4 months?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The meeting that we can have with them can do a number of different things. We don't necessarily even have to turn up. We can walk right up to their club to the point where they give the go-ahead so that people walk into here and end up being carved up by all your traps. And we just go off to a new headquarters. You say that it's not our time to make a move. It depends on the move, dear boy.
I'm sorry, but does it sound like you guys have come up with a plan?
We haven't.
It's still playing the game. And I think we need to think outside of your tiny chessboard for once.
Go on then.
Stop tracking the pieces. Stop tracking all the pieces. We aren't making a response to this invite. We are certainly not going to that casino.
Fair enough. What are we doing then? It's clear you have a plan.
We cannot abandon this location. We cannot abandon the eye. We need to find where they don't want us to be, and we need to be there. And that's the plan.
To go somewhere where they don't want us to be.
Yes.
Okay. Any ideas? Because as far as I'm concerned at the moment, I can only see what's in front of me.
Okay. Well, look behind you instead.
This is the time for clever metaphors, Slate, for crying out loud. We have the eye, we have ourselves. What do we do?
Look behind us. We went to their previous meeting place. It's been long enough. There's nobody there now. Let's go back to that basement and find more.
You want to go back and pick over their old ruins?
Yes.
Well, use bloody say that
Use
then,
the
man.
Painting. Use the painting that we know was painted to confirm who the seven are. Get the details together. Do the information research that we need so that we've got a move that we can make under our own terms.
Very well. How's this? We agree to meet them, but we don't turn up. Whilst they're waiting for us, and potentially people are coming here, which means that we get to have those tasty traps go off. We, and the Eye of Kotar on us, or at least secreted somewhere away from here because they're going to suspect here, go and do what you say. They waste their time. Anybody who comes here gets carved up. We may get information, we may not get information, but both us and the Eye are nowhere to be seen. That's still a gambit in reaction to what they're doing. It's just choosing what your move is. And incidentally, you never leave the chessboard. I get up and I start pulling out the information from that heist.
Okay. Also, Jacob, I'm going to give you one last free roll for this.
Mm-hmm.
The mask. Before you get rid of it, do me an attune.
Attune. I do actually have a single point of attune, so...
That's the reason why I'm allowing you to do an attune.
What? What's happening?
A lot, actually. A lot.
Controlled standard, I'm assuming?
No effect, no position.
Okay, yeah, in that case, yeah, that's fine.
You either get it or you don't. Damn.
Oh.
Okay, so before you decide to roll, to get the, to get the information to the last highs, you decide, okay, first things first. Let me do what I was doing first, which is getting rid of the mask. And as you grab the mask and as you start heading out the lair to either take it to a blacksmith or throw it into the canal, you notice something on the back of the mask, in the inside, on the part that be on your face. There are a bunch of runes written on it. Obviously, when you first got the mask, everyone, like, if this was attributed to stuff to do with the spirit wardens, etc. But now that you read up on it, read up on the occult, read up on in a little bit, you actually recognize this.
No, Scum.
What did he say?
Scum said the runes spell out made in China.
Made in Tykeros. So, you remember a detail from the canal score.
Yeah.
They couldn't, despite the gondoliers going to the spirit wardens, right? God. Despite the gondoliers wanted to go to the spirit wardens, because this is what was happening was their area of expertise, that they were supposed. The spirit wardens always came back empty-handed. They will always say, "No, we don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
Yeah.
And you recognize that it wasn't the spirit wardens going, like, gaslighting them, going, "Hey, you're crazy. There's nothing." It sounded like they legitimately couldn't find the boat. And this is a spirited warden mask. These runes, before they got like this mask, you come up with this hypothesis. This mask, before it was taken from its ceremonial, like, altar, so to speak, was actually physically hiding the boat from the spirit wardens.
Oh shit. So we've got an artifact that stops the spirit wardens finding us.
If you know how to recreate the ritual. And I'm not going to give you that for free.
I'm holding it there with tongs because I poured acid over this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Which all it would have done at this stage, because I'd pour some water over it, is put a patina of salt on it, and because metal and acid equals salt.
Yeah.
That I'm going to say that the 6 is that the salt just made the runes stand out more.
Yeah, sure.
And I go, Checkers, you gentle fucking idiot. And I put it down on the table and start studying it. He had no idea what he had. He had no idea what he had.
I just come out of the door and I pass by Jacob, who's just like mumbling to himself, holding the mask.
Full crazy.
I just go pat him on the shoulder. I'm going to get coffee beans.
Please. We're out of single malt as well. Pick that up too.
If you want the good shit, it's from the Dagger Isles.
It's just not the same here.
And I do share with the others what the runes are and go, this either is a huge bargaining chip or a huge asset directly to us. Considering the spirit wardens, they are not our best friends at the moment. Could be useful.
Also, you do remember who that canal boat
belonged to, and that they're our allies at the minute. Exactly. Thank you. That would be the sisters.
It's the Dimmer sisters.
and the myth solicitors, and they'd be very happy to have the mask back or tell us what it does or how it does it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And with our reputation with them at the moment, and well, direct alliance, I think at the moment. Yeah. Either they'll ask for it back, or they'll tell us how to use it. So, the plan is gathering information on our enemy. The method by which we do so is to go back to a previous crime scene.
Mechanically speaking, I'm going to allow that without a score. I'm fine doing repeat scores, but if like scores on like the same place, only if I can do something interesting by returning.
Yeah.
I can't come up with something like that right now, so I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna treat this as a normal gather information roll.
Sure. Okay. Which begs the question for this session. We don't go to the meeting.
Yeah.
We stiff them. We leave the headquarters and Slate's traps. When we come back later, we'll see if we caught anybody in our traps. We take the Eye of Kotar and basically our information, anything that would mean that they can gather information on us, clean the place out. We go off and do our own information gathering, so we are effectively outside of our headquarters and the protections that it allows. And we get the information from the gather information roll. My question to the rest of the group is, what is the score? I mean, we can just try to get some of the assets that you can get on the team sheet, or we try to. One of the things we could do as a score, in extension to visiting the previous crime scene, is we know about Lady Penderin and Raphael as 2 of the 7. We know that those people are going to be
Madame Teslin too.
We know Madame Teslin, but we can't infiltrate Madame Teslin's place because Madame Teslin's place is where they want us to be. So we could go and double down on Raphael, find out his involvement, which I must admit I'm the most intrigued about because of his connection with the imagery. Art has been a feature of this campaign. Or we can go for Lady Penderin, but we've already been to a high-profile place already.
I am going to add another option there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hinting at Eruvian involvement this entire time.
Yep.
And there is an Eruvian Consulate in Duskfall.
There is.
So,
how about we get onto the gather information roll? You give us that information, and then that shapes that part of the score.
So yeah, you got gather information. So I'm just gonna a quick reminder again, just to for those who don't know how the system works, but also because this has been a long running thing. Gather information. The way it works is that you want to ask me a question, a detail about the city, whatever. You ask me a question, and if I think it's not something your character can find out easily, then you're gonna roll me one of your skills. You choose which one. No position, no effect, and the result determines how many details I get to tell you. So,
okay. I'd like to do a survey roll. Is that
sure? What are you trying to find out?
So, I mean, you've hinted at the Eruvian connection.
Yes.
So maybe revisiting the sites. I've hinted at before that we want to try and find the sketches from the artist to finalize who the other people in the painting are going to be, so we get those names. And return to the Inner Sanctum art exhibit that we found in the basement beneath. I kind of know now not to push too hard on the release to get the door open, so I don't get electrocuted. So I'm looking at staking out those locations and spending time actually investigating that. Do we have a specific deadline for when we need to be at? Or
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Like the deadline is whenever you guys decide to show up. If you guys decide to show up.
Yeah. Okay. So navigating around the narrative of actually being there at the right time. I think what we'll look to do then is just like staking out those locations, maybe working together on that. So can I lead this as a group action?
No. Again, there's no consequence to this. So no position, no effect.
Okay.
Again, the result only determines how many details I get to tell you. So 4 or 5,
Sure.
like 1 to 3, I barely tell you anything. 4 and 5, I do tell you like a normal amount of details. Whereas a 6, I will give you basically all the details you want.
Okay.
Which, not gonna lie, I
I
really like that as a way of handling, like, giving information to the players.
Sure. Okay. Just submitting my roll. You get a 5.
A 5. Okay. So remind me again, you are surveying the places you hit.
Yeah,
before.
so the ones that we already associate with them.
Yeah.
So we know that Raphael did the painting of groups. So I'm looking to try and find the sketches, because I'm guessing the actual final piece of art is somewhere else that we haven't located, possibly
Okay.
at the casino. But if we can find the sketches that we used as the basis, that should be enough. I'm looking to go back to the.
I want to say that your survey, you revisit the art gallery. I'm gonna say it like this: you revisit the art gallery, and you manage to find, you retrace your steps, you take the sides, you jog your memory, which I'm gonna imagine Slate's memory is pretty good, and I'm gonna say you manage to find the guest ledger, right? For that particular night. And you see on the I want to say the ledger is obviously divided between normal guests and guests of honor, right? In the guests of honor, a name stands out to you. Give me a moment, I need to find it again. Elstera of Rothie. And when you read that name, you recall it from somewhere. You don't know where.
Last
But
score.
one thing that pops up to you is that name sounds remarkably Eruvian.
L7, yeah?
I'm gonna write it down on the Discord. But yeah.
Yeah, because I had a few spellings of Avathri as well. Yeah, it was Lord Strangford himself who mentioned Avathri.
Yes. And again, you don't recall who she might be. You heard that name before, but the detail that sticks out to you, Slate, that is one of the most Eruvian names you have ever heard.
It's the most
Yay.
Eruvian.
So we may have found our Eruvian contact.
If anyone else wants to gather more information to find out who Elstera Rothie is, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a background check on them because we got hired by the Eruvians.
You don't know for the original art heist court. You don't know who hired you. It was a anonymous contact that contacted your patron, who then related to you.
Did not patron say that we were causing trouble for the Eruvians?
Okay, this may be because my memory is bad, but I don't recall.
Wasn't that just because there were like a lot of Eruvian nobles at the
Yeah,
art?
I think that's right, Caps.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will change my notes for that.
Sorry,
I think
kind of
if
bad.
I remember right, on that very first session, I did a stakeout of the gallery, and I think Kat, you also were involved in that. I can't remember the full details, but between us, we definitely identified that there was a large presence of Eruvian staff that were involved in the arrangement of the whole thing, and that was kind of our first clue they were involved in some way.
Not just staff. There were like people hanging around before the event as well. And then at the event, there were also a lot of Eruvian nobles.
So, Jacob, do you want to try gathering information on the Stera of Rothie?
Yep. Study any position or effect.
No position, no effect. Again, it just determines how many details I give you. 5.
Double 5, yeah.
You mingle with the right crowds. You're not mingling around Char Hollow or the poor areas. You're mingling in Charter Hall. You're in Brightstone. And after making some conversations both with the lower parts of those districts and the higher parts of those districts, your heart kind of sinks. Elstera of Rothie is not just nobility. She's not just Eruvian. She is the Eruvian representative in Dustfall. She is the Eruvian diplomat that represents Eruvia as a whole in the city.
Interesting. Which, of course, means that the Circle of Flame is not necessarily a national or nationally allied place. Unless, of course, Lady Penderin is being decidedly non-national.
Now, the way I'm going to get like this is like, Akaros and Eruvia have always been on friendly terms, right? I'm gonna give you this for free. This is general history that I'm gonna say Jacob has read up on, right? The Immortal Emperor actually made a deal with Eruvia ages ago when he first established the Empire, and it's the reason why like Eruvian nobility is very common in not only in Dustfall but in Akarosian regions. Eruvian and Akaros have been like chummy chums for a while. Yet you are not sure if the reveal that one of their representatives is part of a secret society, you're not sure if it's a political powder keg or not.
Hardly something that we can use. It's too volatile. Not only that, but it puts too much heat on us to play that game. But Avathri is still a problem, because they can bring their particular power down on us. Ideas. There's too many variables. Slate, you had all the answers a moment ago. What have you got?
I feel our tool set's been cut short. Let's not just blow up the embassy, yeah?
We can't. Checkers has gone.
Yeah. I mean, explosions are just not on the table anymore.
For one thing, we've got to start setting up cause and effect. Like I said just before our last score, there's going to come a point where we either have to grab the pot or seem to be losing gracefully but still holding cards. This is what I'm looking at here. One of two things can happen. Either we play for triumph, or we play for us to succeed but no one to ever know about it. We slip into the shadows and we profit from it. At the moment, we're not in either position. Maybe we'll get more information in the embassy.
Yeah, I think maybe we need to hit the embassy and not necessarily make our presence known. So we're looking to go in and come out with value, though. I feel that we can't expose a nation We can't shift our war to an international incident.
No.
Our war is stealth. It is shadow. That's not the next thing. I'm not comfortable going to that level.
No, we need to.
What does that leave us with?
Some of the currency and trade that we have used very little of. We're not the only people who don't want this to happen. If we can find enough information that compromises Avathri, that compromises the Circle of Flame as being against Eruvian interests and against our interests, well, Duskfall's interests, suddenly we gain allies. That's what we need to find. We need to find information that we can just plonk into the lap of this government and suddenly be on the right side of the line. We can find ourselves just with the right few pieces of information in with the most powerful crowd available. I always thought that as part of our objective here, as part of having our patron being our patron, that we were to cause enough trouble and profit whilst doing it, and that at some point that we'd be following checkers onto one of those bloody boats. If we play our cards right, depending on what we find, we could end up getting it. So, hell, if we pull this off with a certain amount of panache, both the Eruvians and Akaros will be happy for what we have avoided. We're not agents of any nation, but we can still be double agents, satisfying both sides, both of them glad that we exist. We can maneuver ourselves into a position where we are untouchable by the fact that neither side wants to be the ones to pull the trigger. Let's see what we
find. For that to work, we need a threat big enough that nobody's going to want us to pull our trigger.
Then let's.
What have you got in mind as a potential threat big enough to do that on an international scale?
I don't know what we're going to find. But we could go into the embassy, as you say, subtle. If we walk in and walk out with nothing, then that we will call a mild win. The lose is if we go in there and chaos ensues and we end up, losing in coin, gaining unwanted attention, or being slammed into the chokey. But that's the point, isn't it? Cass, you're a gambler. 3 odds. Get your money back, lose it all, gain the pot. What do you say?
Now, this sounds like a stealth plan to me.
I think that's what Mike was angling for, so I was agreeing with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Always angling for us to try and do stealth.
What is the point of infiltration?
Can we find out if Cass agrees with this first? That's what I was saying about the gambler.
It's definitely a gamble. You say if we have finesse, we can pull this off. Well, you're very confident. A gambler knows that you can lose it all.
We can.
Let's go for it then.
Yeah, gamble. All right, so what's the point of infiltration? That's the detail I need to know before we get to the engagement roll.
Okay, so we've got some information to go with that we've gathered from the information rolls. It should give us something on somebody that we can use as an entry. So some sort of minor official that we can now turn through blackmail or other leverage on them.
In that case, I would count it as either a social or a deception plan, either through a contact or a method of deception. If you want to keep it as stealthy as possible, I need to know the physical entry point.
Oh, right. Actually, deception may work because we do have one asset that we can work with.
That is?
We know Avathri is not going to be there. So, for example, if we turn around and say, look, I know that Avathri isn't here right now, but I was told to come and wait for her. That's one thing that we could do. Or we can go and use information that could only be verified by a Vathri, but they're not there to verify it, so that gives us an advantage anyway.
Okay.
Mostly
So,
I'm looking at Cass's sway score to get us in.
so cool. Mark your load, including you, Kevin, and
Normal as usual.
whoever's feeling lucky, roll me 3d6.
I say we get the gambler to do it. And then after we do that, did you
We'll
want to
take
go
it.
to
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. I was just checking.
I just want to leave it at like an appropriately dramatic point.
Yeah.
That would be great if I knew you how to use Roll20.
Double square brackets, 3d6 double square
3d6.
brackets.
K1, actually.
Oh, is it K1? Okay.
Yeah,
3d6 K1.
3d6 K1. I'll just look at it.
It-
6.
5 to
You
6,
are-
nice.
You're in a control position when the action starts. It's another cold night in Dustfall as we cut over to Chatter Hall, the bureaucratic center of the city. Its cold, mechanical heart. We see some unusual fellows walk into the embassy. They hand over a letter. They get told by a clerk, "Oh, I'm sorry, she is not available today." Did you come from far?
We did actually. Would it be possible to wait for her?
I have a courier get. I'll send a courier. I'll try to get her as soon as possible. I apologize. You're in the lobby of one of the more important embassies in Dustfall, and with that,
I'm the
who
courier.
knows what you're going to find here. And with that, we're gonna take a 10-minute break.
Yep, we will see you guys soon.
See you in a bit. And welcome back. Sorry, there was a real life coffee emergency, as it turns out.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so where we left off, the crew has just confidently, without any trouble, walked into the Eruvian Consulate. So this is Eruvia has been this. I want to mention the architecture of this building is still decidedly Western, but the inside, the decor, the ambience is very Middle East. Eruvia is very much based on uh, all Persia, India, a bit of Egypt, right? So there, I even want to imagine, like, when I think of this place, I think of the smell of cinnamon, right?
Nice.
It's just it feels warm despite the cold, oppressive darkness that permeates the world outside. This place feels warm. It feels, there's a lot of memorabilia from Eruvia, a few pictures, a few paintings, a few like mementos brought over, that sort of thing. This is a pretty sizable building. It's an entire embassy after all. I want to say it's I'm bad with architecture. I'm gonna say it's probably not as big as the Strangford Estate, since the Strangford Estate was a decidedly show of opulence. It was literally a man flexing on an entire district, right?
Yeah.
But this building is still pretty sizable. This building is pretty. I want to say that it's probably only maybe 2 floors, but what it lacks vertically, it makes it for horizontally. This is a thick building. This is like, which makes sense since the purpose of this building is completely bureaucratic.
Yeah.
Papers come in, papers come out, meetings take place. Meetings get scheduled, that sort of thing.
It's function over.
Function over style, yeah. Whereas the
Yeah,
Strangford
yeah.
Estate was style over everything.
Yeah.
Yes, so.
You don't need to build up when you just need an open floor where everybody can direct each other. Staircases get confusing. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What Hermit said, thick building. Yeah.
Thick building. Yeah. So yeah, you're in the lobby. You've been admitted in.
Can I? I kind of mentioned something at the end of just before break. They mentioned that they were going to send a courier.
Yes.
As the courier comes out, I'm dressed as a courier, and I'm there going, oh God, so many to do. Where's yours going?
I think it's going to Silkshore. Last I heard, of Mistress Rothie was doing something in the Silver Stag. I don't know what she's doing, gambling.
Yeah, she's in the casino. I'm going that way. How about I take it as part of my lot and I open the bag, and sure enough, there's letters there.
Okay.
If you want, you don't have to do jack shit. We get 50-50. How'd you say?
I'm gonna still ask a roll for this one. However, the engagement roll gave you a control position.
Yeah.
So, be grateful for that. I'm gonna say controlled standard effect.
Because I don't want a clock of a Vathri getting wind of this, I want to give these guys as much time as we can. So I'm mating it up with him, so that's consort. And I'm going to give myself 2 stress to push it.
Sure. Go ahead.
So controlled, standard effect, 1 bonus dice, and yep, there's my 6.
Hey, 6. So you do it. He goes, really? I hate owing. I hate owing another one, but I really could use the break.
It's easy money.
You don't mind?
You're sat on your ass earning money, mate. I've got to go there anyway. I mean, you're not going to take all of these, are you?
You got a point. Fine, just don't.
I pay him in advance.
Cool.
And
he is grateful for it.
And I go, there you go. I'll pick the rest up. Don't worry about me. Oh, worry about my back. Bloody hell. And I walk around the corner. As soon as I'm out of sight, I kind of bolas whip the bag into the river. and start changing my clothes so I can catch up with the others.
That's gonna be the basis for our next 5 heists, is all these missing letters.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're, yeah, material for not only just season 2, but season 3, 4, 5, 6.
Season 6, one of the villains is like, I have a vendetta against you because you dropped my wedding invite in the river.
It was the invite to my daughter's wedding. We haven't spoken for years. I'm putting as much sentimentality as I can into this.
So your actions made it so Rothie won't hear about you guys being here.
Nice.
Everyone else, what are you doing? You're in the lobby. They're like, the clerk already apologized, sent out a courier, to get Rothie back to you as soon as possible. You don't know what you're looking for yet. I imagine the office is a good bet. It's probably a good start. You don't know where it is though, so you have the floor. Kept champ. What happened?
No, my gosh. Hold on a second. I need to jump off.
Okay. Issues at home. Okay. So Checkers is officially out. Okay, so Slate, Cass, what are you guys doing in the embassy? What happened?
I'm just gonna, like, how busy is it and how open plan is it?
Busy. I want to say the normal amount that you expect at an embassy, right? You may.
So it's not just a case of like I'm sitting in the waiting room in the corner having a staring contest with the clerk.
No. I want to say it's like normally busy. It's not like a complete hive of activity where people are like, you can barely move. People are moving to and from, but it's like there are some people here. There are people who are like, there are others in the waiting room with you. Like I want to say between 5 and 10 other people with you. And other than that, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I got something maybe.
Sure.
Usually when you're dealing with embassies, it's the business of the people is handled below, where the counselor and all the import documentation is usually on the floor above, or the thing is, if we're infiltrating if you guys are infiltrating the embassy, then all the important stuff is not in the bottom floor. So what you would want to do is, I need to speak to the counselor directly, because whatever issue,
I agree with that. Yeah, bottom floor is all for
they have my things that they didn't let my boat pass through the whatever goods,
yeah, like I got stopped at it,
Customs,
my train was stopped at this place for no reason when I was heading to Eruvia, that sort of thing, or they're not letting me board the train to Eruvia.
They're taxing me way more than they should have. That's business handled downstairs. So maybe we should aim towards, I need to meet with the counselor just so you guys can get access to that.
Yeah, the top floor. I'm gonna go with that. The top floor is where all the important things are gonna be. You sound.
Are we trying to get access?
Yeah, there we go. You sounded weird for a moment.
Sorry, are we on the top floor, or are we trying to get to the top floor?
You're on the bottom. You're on the lobby at the bottom floor, and you're trying. The only clue you got of where Rothie's office is going to be on the top floor.
Anyone notice if we just sneak in?
Do you want to roll for that?
Yes.
Just look like you belong,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's gonna be risky, but it's gonna be standard effect.
Okay, and prowl?
That sounds like a prowl. risky standard for prowl. Yeah.
Is this going to be a group action?
If you guys want, does someone want to lead a group action then?
Sure.
Who's it gonna lead it?
So,
Generally, whoever has the
Slate
less
can.
stress.
Oh, I have 2 stress.
Okay.
I have 5 stress and 2 prowl.
Okay,
I
so
also have 2 prowl.
so the way it's gonna work is like this. Cass is gonna be leading the group action because they have less stress. Both of you are gonna roll for prowl, risky standard, and we're only going to take the highest result of both of you.
I would like to push myself.
Go ahead, take your stress then. Yeah, 6. Can we get a critical? Another 6. Well, okay. The good news, Cass, is that the caveat for leading a group action is that you take 1 stress for every failed roll in the group. But because both of you rolled a 6, you take no stress. So you do it, yeah. After talking up a storm with the clerk, you manage to find a blind spot in his attention, right, where he is like a few seconds where he is not like looking at the waiting room, seeing who needs processing next, and then like looks down at some papers or something along those lines. And in that split second where he looks down, you decide this is our chance, and both of you just with confidence, not quickly but confidence, go for the stairs and you walk up towards up to the next floor. You're on the top floor now. That was a 6, so no consequences. Good job. You're at the top floor now. I'm gonna do something similar that I did for the Strangford score. I'm going to make a 6-part clock, and this is going to determine your progress through the embassy towards your progress towards finding a Rothie's office. That way, we're not gonna do like a dungeon crawl thing where you're like checking every single room for it.
Find the office, isn't it?
Find the office, yeah.
Cool.
It's gonna work exactly like it did back in the Strangford score. Successes towards finding the office is gonna take the clock. The number, how well you succeed determines how many segments you take off.
So how many segments into the 6 are they?
6. They're 0 because they just made it to the top floor.
Yeah, sure.
Right, so they're gonna start looking for it now. Checkers, Jacob, anything else you guys want to do?
I'll be catching up to these guys.
Okay, I'm gonna say you just do it.
But I'm gonna take my time. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Those guys are spearheading this. I've done the bit that I was most interested about, and that is giving them as much time as humanly possible. I may flash back later to something else I might have done, but for now I'm good.
You can always flashback. Yeah. So yeah, what's next?
We got a flashback.
Shoot. What do you want to do?
So I've been surveying this place around since I know that they're gonna be there, and I just want them to be safe. The reasons why I haven't left, I will clarify in a second. But I just wanted to go around and sapping, just planting explosives around before these guys got here.
To stress.
Oh, right.
And do me a roll. Your choice.
Let's see, would it be? I want to tinker. Would that be okay? Tinker?
Yeah, that sounds good. Risky.
Remember when we were like, hey, no one will know it was us because we're not blowing shit up?
I wasn't there.
That's true.
Less effect limited. Okay. And now
it's not like we actually have a monopoly on explosives. Yeah.
You probably should have told me that before I stopped that shipment.
Ow.
Yikes. All right, so maybe you walk in exactly while I'm failing to do the explosives.
Well, it's not
Does
like we
one
knew
go
you were
off?
doing it, so
Does
Us-
one go
Okay.
off
Us
by
walking
accident?
in on
Maybe?
you means that doesn't mean it's a downside.
I'm gonna start another clock.
There we go.
This is a oops, not I ignore that. That I clicked the wrong thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna start a 4-part clock, and this is going to be Checkers bombs go off.
Dude,
So when
it would be
this
so funny. Like they're going up, and I'm going down with the bombs, and we just like clash
Miss
into
each
each
other?
other, and and they keep going, and they just scare
No.
me, and I click the detonator by accident. I'm like, oh no.
No. I think it's funnier than that. You pass each other, and without thinking, just go,
Hey,
hey, checkers, hey.
It's that thing you go past quite some way before the double take hits, and you go,
Excuse me, wait a second.
"He's not on the fucking ship."
Okay, so yeah, 4-part clock. No segments filled in at the moment.
Yep, we've got the
It's
good
called-
and the bad clock. So
We've got the good and the bad clock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both on stream right now, like a demon and angel on two different shoulders.
I can be your angle or your devil. Okay, so
I almost
what's
feel
next?
like this should be the Kevin clock. But oh yeah, didn't you know we all have personal clocks on the stream as well, but we've never used them.
Is that a clock with a K?
Clock, yeah.
the clock.
Yeah,
I've got not a flashback, but a sort of
Sure.
memory from the last heist that I want to kind of call on as I try to do it again. So I'm going to use the same tactic I tried in the mansion, so that there are less of us walking around inside the corridors. I will hitch myself up onto the windowsills and check rooms from the outside looking in, and survey that way. So
Okay.
this is an effort to try and find the right office.
what are you rolling?
So I'll be using survey.
Okay, risky standard. Six. All right. So yeah, you do it. You don't feel as bad as you used to feel before, right?
Yeah.
You no longer have the shakes or the wooziness, right?
Yeah.
So now you can actually.
That's that crisp air feeling as I step out on the ledge, and I'm like, it's been a while because I wasn't with it before I took all that respite. I've had time now to find my legs again, and I step out on the ledge and I just breathe in for the first time up at this height in a long time, and you can see on my face I'm home, and then I just duck down and start shuffling across the next window.
Yeah. Absolutely. So
Awesome.
it's a survey action. So you were looking for something, right? I want to say that you take some time, but you do manage.
Oh man,
to find...
I'm enjoying myself out here. So yeah, I don't have any issue with that.
Yeah. You take some time, but you do manage to find what seems to be a rather important looking office at the end of the west wing of the building.
Okay.
You're looking in. I want to say that this is, if anything, this is probably Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's standard effect. What I'm gonna do is because it was a 6, I'm going to fill in like 3 segments on the find the office. Give me a moment. I'm just.
I mean, it makes sense. So I found a potential candidate for the office.
Yeah.
But
I'm not gonna say
inside.
it's the. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it is
but-
the office.
yeah.
Negate the entire purpose of the clock. So
Yeah, no,
but you
exactly.
managed to feel half of it. You were pretty sure you may have found it, but you're not sure.
So continuing sort of the sweep of this side, I'm like, okay, I've staked out an area of this floor that I think is worth better investigation. I can report that back to Cass, and by this point, we've got Jacob in as well. So I fill them in and say, um, if yeah, uh, that corner. I described kind of the layout, and I'm like, I'm not sure that's the exact room that we're after, but it's going to be in that area.
Yeah. Okay. While I want to say while you're doing this, what is Cass and Jacob doing? I want to say this is what they were doing while you were out on the roof.
I'm following Cass and Slate's lead here. They are the subject matter experts. Until there's another piece that enters the board, Jacob is helping and following.
So have we actually located the correct room or just the general area?
I reckon myself because I realized that saying that he just found the room would have negated the entire purpose of the clock. So I want to say that he like made a big stride in finding the room. You still have halfway through the clock to go.
He
Okay.
found, still
Are there
himself
any-
where the room? Yeah. Continue. Sorry.
Are there any like broom cupboards about?
I want to say yeah, like there. I want to say there's one of those cupboards that are like designed in such a way that they blend into the wall. They're narrow, they're only for putting in like brooms and other cleaning equipment.
That's what's going in it. Me.
Okay.
I would
Sure.
like to. Does it have like a keyhole?
No, it just has a thing to pull it open. Like one of those handles,
Okay.
like a drawer handle.
What if I go up? Okay. Yeah. I would like to go into the cupboard, and I will be peering out to see who's coming and going, and whether any of the places they go into or things they mention look like it would direct us to the correct room.
Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is roll me 2d6 and keep the highest result. This is not like an action roll. This is a fortune roll to see if you get lucky enough to overhear a conversation. So let's see. 2. I want to say you spend a little too long in there for you to and you don't overhear any like particularly important conversations. You hear conversations mentioning a Rothie, but nothing about like her whereabouts, her office, or any important details. It's just like conversations mentioning her, like oh, have you reminded that she has to do this or whatever, right? So you really don't get any more information, sadly. Jacob, anything you're doing?
Yeah, supporting action obviously to try and get that find the office clock down. And I'm watering plants. This is a highbrow office, an embassy for crying out loud. One of the things it's going to have is plants. So I happen
Some
to
exotic looking plants too.
Yeah, some weird ass things because it's Duskfall. So I walk past the kind of little watering can thing, and I'm going to hide in plain sight. I'm going to water the plants, tell jokes, laugh and joke with the staff.
With that, it sounds like you're consorting. So I'm gonna say for this, I am going to make an action roll. Risky standard, and Mike just got yeeted into the ether.
Yep. There we go. And I need to Yep. And Mike is under Cass at the moment, so that's fine. Yep.
Yeah. So okay. So This is gonna be a risky standard just because it's the default setting.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead. See if you find out anything.
Sure. I just need to bring Kevin back because he's blocked on that one. There we go. Right. So let's do this.
Hi guys.
That's right.
Hello.
So I'm just seeing if there's anything here that I want to use. Find cover identity? Meh. No, not really.
What would a devil's bargain look in this situation? I haven't thought of those.
You said it was risky standard, right?
Risky standard, yes.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm just going to do a straight roll, I think. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Risky standard, and
Will this blow up in your face? It'll be kind of funny if it did.
a 4.
Four.
You know, it's
Four.
still a success. Yeah.
Yeah, you again do what you do best, which is blend in. And you know, you get some talk. You also get some like hints towards the west wing of the building. And you don't get any details, or anything along those lines. So I'm gonna say this fills in 2 segments of the
Okay.
of the clock.
2 out of 6. Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, you're at 4 out of 6.
Okay.
Oh no, 5 out of 6. My bad. I forgot that it was at 3. My bad. So you're
I missed a few, so we're 1 step away.
You're 1 step away from finding the office. However, it's a 4. So I am going to take down the checkers bombs go off clock by 1.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
So, hey, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the loser in this case is a bomb.
You win some, you lose some. Anyways, but yeah, you have an idea. You hear people complain about her. Apparently, it's one of the rooms that require. It's not that her tastes are expensive or anything along those lines. Just by being the office of the Eruvian diplomat in Dustful, her room requires the most upkeep. So obviously, some servants are kind of miffed about that, etc., etc. So yeah, what is the play? What's next? You are missing 1 segment from that clock.
I've done what I can. What you guys got? Other than bombs.
So I'm just suddenly stood behind behind Jacob, and in passing as I move beyond him, it's just a casual observation. This is the only time I ever hear you laugh like that, joke like that. It's when you're on a con. Maybe after this, me and you go have a drink sometime. I actually hear you enjoy yourself for real. And I walk past further down the corridor, and I'm like, it's over here somewhere. Check these doors.
Jacob's face momentarily ages. He relaxes the grinning facade, and anybody who would be watching, Slate of course has already walked past, you would see crow's feet appearing at the sides of his eyes. The lines on his forehead suddenly being more pronounced. And he hunches slightly and looks a lot older. And then, like that, face is back, animated. The crow's feet have gone. The brow is perfectly still. Because I can make my wrinkles appear and disappear on the camera. And Jacob looks younger, sprightly, like he's just about to start tap dancing like Fred Astaire. And gives a wink to one of the secretaries, nicks a biscuit off a saucer, and carries on walking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every job I've said, chief, boss. I've called him all names under the sun. At this point, I turn around to him and say, "Come on, old man. Let's get this done."
Nice.
Yes, like I did quite a few years ago. You come out of the closet.
I just want to hook him.
I wasn't ready for that one.
So
Put it back. I'm not. I don't.
So
Sorry, I've just got this image now of Cass opening the door, walking out the closet, and the tea lady coming by, slamming the door accidentally with the tea trolley, and Cass pushing back in. I tried to come
It's
out,
fine.
but the tea was in the way.
Cass.
I come out for the second time. I'm dressed much more fabulously.
Got it right this
Yeah,
time.
well, this time you can have the clothes you want in the closet, so when you come out, you're better dressed.
Exactly. So Cass, you, it was categorically not worth it. Your back hurts. It was really uncomfortable in there. It was narrow. It was cramped, and you didn't even overhear a single fucking conversation worth a single talent. So.
This is why I leave it to Slate.
Absolutely.
So I've.
I'm thinking group action to finish these rooms off.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, again, who wants to lead it?
I think Gaz was.
Yeah. So I have already done my costume change. I am dressed as a local official, not a big time official, but just like
Secretary.
Not secretary, like
Oh, I get. Okay.
I'm somebody who has come here on business, essentially.
Gotcha. All right, I get it.
And then in my supplies, I have subterfuge supplies, which
I'll allow that.
apparently includes a forged badge of office.
I'll allow that.
Okay. So
Uh,
I'm just
you're-
going to go into each door one by one. If there's anyone in there, I'm gonna say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm lost. I'm just trying to find the office of Madam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rothie. Yeah.
Rothie.
So, tell me what you're rolling.
I would like to roll consort.
Okay, so normally will be risky standard. However, that cover identity will push it to greater effect. So it will be risky greater effect.
Great effect. And I would like to push myself. No.
Absolutely.
This is a group check. I'm going to not push myself.
Let me think of a devil's bargain. I'm gonna keep it relatively simple. You will not be able to use after the you get an extra die, but you will not be able to use their cover identity and your subterfuge supplies for a score like this in the near future because it will be too hot.
Deal.
Okay, so take the extra die. Just need to write it down. Not all devil's bargains have to be like life or death things. I mean, they're more fun when they are, but 4.
Ooh. So
Okay.
This is a group check, though, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. We can
I guess
retcon
it
it.
doesn't have to be. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to
we can
be.
retcon it. It's fine. So give me a moment.
You kind of described it as you're using it.
Yeah.
Give me a moment. I'm just gonna write down your the consequences of your devil bargain on it, so I don't forget. Okay, I'll do that later. Okay, so good news. You managed to find her office. You completed the clock. And yeah, you did manage to find the office. However, I'm gonna be a little bit harsh with the consequences here. People, because again, what will result to this identity being too hot. People will remember the name. People will remember your appearance. People will talk. So I'm gonna say that at the end of the score, this is gonna give you an extra heat. Oops, that's factions, not the crew sheet. Okay, so that's gonna incur 1 extra heat, and the checkers clock goes down by 1 more, so it's halfway through.
What do you mean? You're out of there. You're fine.
I'd like to think that as this goes down to the second segment of 4, Checkers is going down the street, puts his hand in his pocket, pulls out a bunch of cord and goes, There's more of it than there should be.
I start the timer. I go to start the timer, and I press the button, but the timer already started. Like, oh. So I want to run in the building. Do I see Slate in the windows at all?
No, he's already inside by this point.
Oh gosh. I go up and try to look for Slate.
So you run into the embassy, you run upstairs, and someone goes, "Hey, wait! What are you?" As you run upstairs.
I'm the air conditioner guy.
The what?
Exactly. Don't worry about it. I'm repairing the fridge. I'm here for the TV.
The kitchen is on the bottom.
There's no kitchen. Okay.
The kitchen's on the bottom floor. It won't be in a minute.
Okay, so
okay, they realize it. Do I find Slate?
oh, give me a roll.
What? Survey. Is that it?
That sounds like a good thing. This is desperate. Limited.
Desperate.
Yes.
Limited. Okay, so desperate none, because I have less effect for all my scars.
You can take 2 stress for to push that to limited effect.
I think it's safe to say he's under stress.
Yeah. Also, you get an XP for rolling desperate.
Oh yeah.
Can I push myself? Oh no, I already.
Like you're pushing yourself for the extra effect, yeah.
For sure.
And I can't come up with any devil's bargain, so.
Ah! Damn it! I find another bold guy, and just say, "The bomb's gonna go off."
You know what? I'm just gonna keep that as another heat. Actually, it's gonna be 2 heat. There's no way you scream the bomb is gonna go off and not incur some sort of attention.
Some other
grabs the bald guy.
Yeah.
Grabs the bald guy, turns him around, and it's the head of security. Yeah.
Oh no.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to come with me.
Oh man. See, I thought you were somebody else. It was a practical joke.
Interesting. Please tell me more about this joke.
It's an inside
Over
joke.
here.
You wouldn't get it.
He starts leading you off, man. He just starts
Yeah. I walk with him, but I'm trying to get out of it, failing miserably. But it's you wouldn't get it though. Like you have to be there.
Not.
It's a context joke.
Okay, so before things get even more hellish, all 3 of you managed to find Rothie's office. I'm gonna give you something good for once. I don't know how to describe her office. Any ideas from you guys?
It's more like a boudoir, maybe. Maybe comfortable chair, long fronds. It's a place that she's actually very comfortable in, rather than a place she literally does business. It's more that she hosts. And there's a nook maybe where she has papers, but the majority of the room has been dedicated to comfort.
Sounds better than what I had. I was going to go the full Dolores Umbridge, but yep,
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. Okay, so you managed to find her office. There's also some like personal effects from Eruvia. I want to say there's probably like a very neat, like on her desk. There's probably like a very neat obsidian pyramid. It looks quite nice. Could probably go for quite a bit, depending on who's buying. Yeah, lots of like just for like a quick lore dump. Eruvia is really interesting because Eruvia still has the whole. It's always night since that's the whole world. But Eruvia is like a land of black deserts, completely obsidian like sands, very Middle Eastern, very like Persian. One of the cooler things is that in the collector's edition of the book, so not in this one, but in the limited run they did for the collector's edition, it also had, on top of like the setting guide for Dustfall, they also had a setting guide for a city in Eruvia, which was pretty neat. Anyways, there's quite a few, like, there's a desk, there's some drawers, there's some bookshelves, there's the things you'd expect from an office. What do you do?
Start rifling through the drawers.
Okay. What is everyone else doing?
I'm gonna go elf on this, and I'm gonna be looking for the safe. Secret door.
Slight?
My usual first priority, check for exits.
Okay.
So you may be looking for the secret storage. I'm looking for the get out.
Yeah.
And potentially even scouting out the outside of the wall, the roof area.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. Instead of doing 3 separate roll actions, we're gonna do this as a. Do you guys want to do it as a group action?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's gonna lead it?
3 dots to survey.
Hang on, if it's a group action, we're all rolling the same skill, right?
You're all rolling the same skill, but whoever's leading it is the one who's gonna take the stress for the failures.
I've only got 4 stress at the minute.
I can't lead it after all the stress.
I'm happy to lead it, but we're talking survey, right?
Yeah. So all of you are gonna roll survey, risky, standard, and we're just gonna take the highest result. But whoever's leading it is going to take 1 stress for every failed roll.
Go on,
So
I'll
a maximum of 3 stress if things go badly.
Yeah,
that's a 6.
Damn it. Okay, that's good.
What's that?
Remember, I've got foresight.
Foresight, yeah.
Who gets the benefit from that?
Well, whoever I ask. But both of you have just rolled.
Checkers, you're not in the room, so I'm not counting you in.
Sweet.
Okay.
Good stuff.
In that case, slate.
Okay, so what do I get?
Flashing back.
Extra die.
I have to say how I did it.
Yeah.
It's in the rules here. So I flash back, and the flashback is actually the continuation of the argument we had earlier in the session, where the argument turns into almost an aggressive brainstorming session over the table. Weirdly, we've kept the aggressive tones, but we're bashing out ideas with a bit of a yes and dynamic there. And it's like, so if we find this, then clearly it's going to be this, and you kind of.
I don't want to work in this place.
And we it's an aggressive think tank. If this, then that. If we find this, then clearly it's this job. If we do
I were to work,
then clearly we go that.
Yeah.
And
you keep waving the king piece and the queen piece of your chess at me, and I just hold a king and a queen from a deck of cards and going, I think we're playing different games.
These explode.
Not yet. I haven't got the money together.
Damn it!
Just stop burning them.
I was depending on that if we got invaded. Turns out all I would have been doing is throwing wooden pieces at them. Okay, tell me when these are grenades. I'm going to need to know that. Important information.
Just stop changing their size and shape by shaving bits off.
I just want to know when I have to stop smoking during the game.
No, that should be safe. Just don't throw them in the fire.
If I were to work for the Dark Hole Solution, this will be the moment where I turn my 2-week notice.
Yeah.
2 weeks is too long.
2 weeks notice. Do see checkers leave.
No, I would just do what I did on my last job and just say,
skedaddle.
fuck it, I'm out. Yeah.
I'm gonna work from home. Yeah.
So basically, we're running the numbers. We reckon on all the angles. So what does that get me? Am I getting a bonus dice?
Gets the dice because you've used one of my foresight.
Yeah. So you get an extra die for survey. We already got a 6, but a critical.
Nice.
And just for the sake of finishing up this, Jacob, please roll survey as well.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's a group action.
And risky, standard, no bonus.
Wow.
So you take a stress from your fail roll.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go for the critical. So with criticals, it gives you an extra effect. So instead of this being a standard effect, this is a greater effect. And the way I'm going to say that this represents greater effect is you find everything you wanted and more. Jacob.
I like that.
Okay, no, actually, it was Cass who was rummaging through the drawers. Cass, you find another letter. This one's pretty recent. It's addressed to Elstera Rothie. It says, you managed it. She received this letter like 1 or 2 days ago. If not today. It says, I had something thought up, but I just forgot. Okay, so it says, my dearest Rothie, I know we haven't seen eye to eye all the time. However, I'm more than willing to make it up for you after the past few incidents. After we have dealt with our small coal problem, I will more than happily discuss any further. I will discuss any further reparations in our room at the Centuralia Club. Yours truly, MT.
Centralia Club.
Centuralia Club, yes.
That's come up a second time.
It sure has.
Question is, do we take it and we were never do we leave it and we were never here and hope that she goes, or do we take it? Oh my god, Checkers is here.
Yeah,
by this point
you hear the commotion outside the room.
Yeah, no, I just shove the letter into Jacob's hand and go, I'm gonna damage control.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah.
I kind of put it out in front of Slate and go, we haven't got time. This doesn't implicate Avathri in anything, but it does give us a direction. I say we leave it here.
So that was just, again, the result of that critical. You guys get everything you want, like you were looking for and more. So that was just what Cass found.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Jacob, you find a safe. You do manage to find a safe. What? And I'm actually going to leave this up to you. What does Jacob Pride find in the safe of Elstera Rothie?
I would say that the safe of a place like this, even though it is the safest place to put things and it's got all those layers of protection around it, it's the type of place that is immediately obvious for Homeland spies to check on the dear ambassador. Ambassadors are checked on all the time by Homeland Security to see whether or not they've been turned by the people that they are ambassador to. Avathri does not have anything in there that links them with the Circle of Flame. What I have got, though, is dossiers on what Avathri has on Duskvol and correspondence between Avathri and the Eruvian government. Sorry, is it Eruvian?
Eruvian.
Eruvian, sorry. Eruvian government.
R.
I knew I'd messed up a letter. And the Eruvian government. So when I look at that, I turn around to Slate, give this huge wolfish grin and go, now this we take. And I hand over basically everything that will get Avathri in the shit with Duskvol, everything that will get Avathri in the shit with the Eruvians if they find out that she's lost it. I go, this doesn't put the Circle in our pocket. It doesn't put the Eruvians in our pocket. It doesn't put Duskvol in our pocket. But Avathri's fucked.
Yeah.
We control one of the
That's
seven.
what we want.
And
That's what we want, because she wanted us, we've got her.
yeah, she's in our pocket now.
Okay. And lastly, Slate. You open, like, so I want to say the first thing you check for is the window, since it's how you found the room, right? You open the window, you let the cold, dustful breeze come in. The embassy is right in the middle of Charter Hall, right? This is not, so there is no canal exit. You know, it's right smack in the middle of the district. However, you do manage to find across the window, and actually I'm gonna do the same thing I did for Jacob here. What does Slate find? It's the perfect exit. This is a good exit. Right?
Yeah, okay. So with the grapple gun that I rescued from before, probably how we got Pride in the building anyway. I anchor that inside the building with a quick release so that I can get it out once we're out. And the cable shoots across to one of the buildings that I'm certain Checkers hasn't bombed. So that that's the perfection part. We are going to a building that will not blow up underneath us when we get there. And it lands. No, I'm relying on the mechanics of the game to give me that. That's the perfect part. That's the perfect part. Nothing's screwing that part up.
Yeah, because you already succeeded, as opposed to rolling a 1 and all the buildings domino over to the one that you have.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. The grapple at the other end grabs hold of very familiar tiles and I can't remember the word I was now going to go for. The bits at the top of the building, crenellations, and I'm like, yeah, I think I actually was there about a month ago. That looks familiar. I'm confident that will be our way out.
So, you got everything you wanted and more, so let's do one last thing before wrapping up the score. Cass, you took the thankless job of handling damage control. Let's give that a shot. I want to say you managed
nanny duty. Yeah.
I will take offense to being damaged in this sentence.
It's perfect, honestly. It's perfect for Checkers. But
actually, I was really rather hoping to pick up the bombs. Those are the damage.
Yeah, I mean,
we need to not.
The implication.
So, okay. Yeah, you're going to leave Checkers to get the shit kicked out of him, but get rid of the bombs.
What are you doing to find the bombs?
Is Checkers still like in an altercation with the security guard in the hallway outside?
At this point, he is in like he's already taken to like the security office and being really sternly asked some questions.
Dear.
See, I've been here before. I've been here before in real life as well. Art imitates life. Not with the bombs, but with the Korean embassy.
Oh Christ!
And
right. China. Yeah. Man, this is major flashbacks to real life.
Didn't even intend for that. Anyway, so what are you doing to find the bombs, Cass?
Kat, if you haven't got an idea, I have a suggestion, but carry on.
So I passed Checkers on the stairs.
Let's
Can I make like some kind of notice roll to see where he was coming from?
I'm gonna give it this for you for free, but I was gonna say he was coming down the stairs from the top floor.
Okay. Right.
Everywhere.
Think like Checkers.
You're wearing a bum. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna open a cupboard that I was hiding in. I'm gonna look around inside the cupboard. Right, there's one. But I know there's more. So I'm just gonna go up and down the whole building looking for like rooms that might have been deserted where he might have just like gone
If
in,
I remember
dropped
correctly, Checkers was specifically sapping the outside of the building, right?
There's a basement, wasn't it?
I didn't say there was a basement.
No. I wasn't.
But like you
I wasn't
said, sapping.
What I wanted to I wanted to sap the building just in case they got in an altercation inside. So, do
Gotcha.
that.
Okay,
Do that.
my bad.
What you want with it. Like it could be outside, it could be inside.
I'll give the floor to
direction.
Cass because it's Cass's role.
Yeah.
Yes. What am I? Okay. I would like to roll Rec to think like Checkers.
Ooh. Using
Des-
rec as an insight skill, I love it.
Yeah.
Desperate
Yeah.
limited.
I would like to help with that because we've spent time together.
I'll allow an assist from Checkers for this.
And I would like to use hindsight.
Foresight, yeah.
Foresight, not hindsight. Although technically the two are the same. And I'm flashing back to, and I love the fact that we can tie this up to Cass bringing the coffee back, us making a brew, pouring some single malt into each of the coffees, and reminiscing about Checkers. Take your dice.
Yes, absolutely. So you get a 2 extra die. However, it's limited effect. And the reason I'm justifying limited effect is because of that one SpongeBob bit where Patrick goes, "My mind is like an enigma," and then the thought cloud appears and it's just like a carton of milk like falling over. That's basically what's happening.
Okay. Can I use? I don't remember how assist or foresight works. Can I use one of those to push the effect up a level?
No.
Stress.
Assist. Okay, so the way it's gonna work is like this. I'm gonna break it down. Right. Checkers is assisting you.
Down.
Yeah, Checkers is assisting you by taking 1 stress. He's taking 1 stress, and he will give you an extra die. Jacob is using his special ability Foresight to give you an extra die without paying any stress himself. So that's 2 die you have. You can then now push yourself, taking 2 stress, to either get an extra die, so you'll be up to 3 bonus dice, or pushing that effect from limited to standard.
I'm gonna push it up to standard.
Good choice. And you get an XP because this is desperate.
Desperate. Standard.
Five.
Oop.
So you do it. You do it. You've managed to find those bombs. There is a complication though, and I need to think on that. Like the obvious is like one of them blow up on you, but I don't want to do that.
No, just she doesn't. I mean, they don't find one. I mean, they find all of them but one.
So it doesn't blow up the building, but man, it's loud.
Oh, by the way, I think this comes into play. My skill of a saboteur. Saboteur, when you wreck, your work is much quieter than it should be, and the damage is hidden from casual inspection.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That would have been useful a few scores back.
Oh no, I've had it for the longest time. I just never remembered.
I like to think that you chose not to use it because you wanted to see the pretty fireworks.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would be a will check.
This is the most beautiful case of like real life and the game just integrating into each other.
Remember in the first session when I said, "Hey, my skill is kind of BS because I don't know how electric things work in here. Can I change it?"
I said,
yeah, I picked Saboteur.
You know what? It's funny. I've been keeping a tab on everyone's special abilities except yours.
And I'm level 3 in the playbook now. I have 3 skills, and I use none of them.
Like, I've been mindful of, like, okay, I know Cass can always tell when someone's lying. I know Jacob can always, given it, like at certain times in the score, can, like, use his massive brain to predict certain outcomes, right? And I think Slate had, like, a push himself for, like, scouting or, like, shooting, right? I think that's what you had, and then I completely forgot about yours. Anyways, yeah, Cass, you managed to find all bombs, and you're like, yeah, like this sounds like a correct amount, and you somehow managed to do it discreetly. Who would have thunk? But in the back of your mind, you're like,
You know what? It doesn't matter. These ones need to be not in here. I'm gonna go. It's
yeah.
fine.
And with that, as Kaz walks out from the from the embassy holding all these fucking like makeshift landmines,
Into the canal.
Jacob and Slate, you rappel down from you zip line out from the consulate's window, and Checkers, after the security guy decided that he's just some drunkard who managed to waltz in here, he gets let go.
Does he say that out loud?
No, but he
Okay.
exudes that feeling. He's like, "Oh, this is. I don't know how you got into Chatter Hall to begin with, but back to the docks you go." You know.
If not, I was going to say that the security guard is there just about to say, I think that you're kooky as all hell. And suddenly there's this huge explosion and this geyser of water flies up in the air outside. He goes, "What the hell is that?" It's clearly outside the building. When he looks back, Checkers is gone.
Checkers, you check your timer. There's like 5 seconds left. It counts down to 1.
Oh gosh.
And then nothing happens. You were like, where's the explosion? There should have been an explosion by now.
Of course, when there's no explosion, he was clearly kidding, so the security guard doesn't have anything on him.
Yeah. There's no bang. There's nothing.
Oh man, I'm getting bad at this.
I just slide up to Checkers. It's alright, we all have off days.
Right.
Man,
so,
I really wanted
this
to
is the Tycross embassy, right? It's the Tycross embassy.
Yeah, wait. This
No?
is...
Oh, wrong building.
Yeah. We see another building just blow up in the distance.
Somewhere in another
yeah.
city, another building blows up somehow.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to payoff. You earn 2 rep by default. And then you get +1 rep per tier higher of the target. I want to say this is like tier 4 or 5, so I'm gonna say, you earn another 3 rep. What you managed to do is no small feat. So no one like contracted you to pay for this. So I'm going to ask retroactively, did you guys make out with anything in order to sell it?
Was there anything in the broom cupboard? Because if there was, I would have taken it all.
I would have said if there was any cash in the safe, we would have taken it.
Okay, I'm gonna say 2 coin. You guys earn 2 coin. It's very small, but it's just because of little knickknacks you managed to sell. After all, the purpose of this score was less getting paid and more finding a weak spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so heat. Here's an important question. Did you guys leave your calling card?
Ooh. I'm going to leave that to Slate as to whether he left a piece of coal in the safe.
Yeah, not our calling card. I'm just leaving the envelope that she sent us.
Ooh. Classy. Classy. I like it.
Oh man, if you weren't at water already, you'd be now. But anyways, so let's see. +1 heat for a high profile well connected target, absolutely. +1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf, yes. +1 heat if you're at war, yes. No killing was involved this time, so no killing. So yeah.
And then there was also 1 heat as a consequence for something.
No, yeah, like
that
I
we did
already
during
been added, like the
Okay.
PS consequence I already add to the sheets, so I'm only counting the ones that you gain afterwards. Ooh, the heat is enough. So that's 1, 2, 3.
We've
It's
been
enough to
wanted
bump
level.
you another wanted level.
Mm-hmm.
You're at
Yeah.
wanted level 2.
Yeah, I didn't get rid enough of it.
The word gets around, especially after the death of Lord Strangford, there's talks about a bomb scare at the Eruvian embassy. And then, yeah, and Rothie has been quite miffed with the results of this score. You guys are you are being looked like people are actively looking for you. Okay, so let's do something else. Okay. This next bit. All right. Okay, I'm gonna read that in a bit. Control. Okay. All right. And finally, we are reaching the end of the session. Jacob, you have a cornucopia of information to work with. Not just that, but you have. I'm gonna give you. So I was gonna give you the chance to figuring this out earlier, but now at the end of the session, I'm just gonna give it for you for free. You see the invitation from someone, possibly Madame Teslin, MT after all.
Yeah.
To Rothie, to their room in the Centuralia Club.
Yep. Got that one down.
And something clicks. The Silver Stag is not their fucking HQ.
No.
It's not. The most exclusive club in all of Dustful, where entrance will cost you 4 coin? That sounds more like it.
Yep. This isn't a huge revelation. I correct a few of my notes. I pointed out to the rest of them, assuming Checkers is still around. And
Yeah, Checkers, where are you now? Let's actually do this before the end of the session.
Yeah, because it changes.
Yeah.
It changes by the moment. Well, I would actually. I think I'm in jail because I want to take the wanted level down.
if you try to do that, I'm not. Simon's not going to stop you because it won't take your player agency away. But you do suddenly get Jacob putting his hand on your shoulder and saying,
I'm not turning myself in. I'm not turning myself in. Checkers is not turning himself in at all.
Okay.
Because I got the cue from Rodrigo that he said, everybody's looking for us. And Checkers is just been walking the dog. Now he has a reason to go outside. He's just been walking his dog around, just getting captured. But
well, I'll tell you as a player then, I
Yeah.
have something prepared for the wanted level.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I go back.
Then I'll step in as well and say, well, if he's in prison, that's our next job. Jailbreak.
But
So I want to get this clear. What is Checkers doing now? Whatever happens, because of the way you already talked to me outside of the session, and after what happened today, this is going to be Checkers' last session with the Dark Hole solution. But I want to give you the agency of how he leaves the story.
oh, okay. Well,
Also, I am frantically looking for the rules on arrest.
Well, I go back with everybody and just I'm sorry I wasn't of much help today, but I wanted to go out with a bang, and I couldn't leave my friends behind in a war. But now I got somebody else to take care of.
You'll be taking care of us all, my friend. That I assure you. It means that no matter what happens going on from here, we see you as a win. Do you understand that?
Sigurd smiles and this time a little bit more restrained, just extends his hand for a handshake, and it's been a pleasure serving you, masters, and I would like to say I would love to see you again, but if we never see each other again, Master Jacob, you know what that means. We've accomplished what we set out to do.
I can guarantee that if you live a long and peaceful life, we will have gained a lot more than you could possibly know.
Oh yeah, I got like 10 or 5 years until I kick the bucket. I can feel it. But yeah.
I pick up his bag, I pat the side, and I give it to him.
All right, I'll take it this time. And
oh no, his kit bag, not the gold sack.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And just looking at you, for the first time acting his age, I think, you say, I'm very proud of you. And very proud of you all. Master Al-Kai,
Yes.
you look after these people. It's up to you now. Well, it's always been. And
But this time you have to look after yourself, Master Checkers.
I gotta look after this small dude.
Well, he better look after you then.
Oh yeah, I didn't bring him up for nothing.
Listen, before you go, I open the front door of our lair, and I just look across the street. There's just like a big pile of rubbish in the street. And I hand a small device to Checkers. I say you wanted to go out with a bang. Press the button.
Yes. I grab it and I press the button. What happens?
The pile of rubbish just explodes.
Trash tornado.
Yes. I look at it and with that I hang my gloves. Slate.
Beyond that pile of rubble, I'm stood on top of the roof of whatever building faces our ruins. I see the explosion and I salute.
Yeah.
Godspeed.
But I'm not there in
beautiful
person.
bastard.
It's going to be quiet.
Yeah.
For a little while.
I just salute, put my goggles on, and move on.
And so, this is the last time the Dark Hole Solution ever saw of Vilcek Checkers Marlowe. Where did he go? Where did he went? Who knows? Chances are he's probably living a better life than he used to. However, not everything is sunshine and roses. For one, there is no sun.
No roses either. They won't grow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We blew up the garden that last year.
There was one rose. It's dead now.
Yeah.
as the rubble falls from the sky, the garbage, sorry. Garbage falls from the sky and the dust clears up. In the distance, you can see, sticking out like a sore thumb in the otherwise decrepit district of Six Towers, a mansion, well kept with its own lightning barrier. Lights on, never off. The place to be in all of Dustfall, the Centralia Club. And with that, we're gonna end today's session. Thanks everyone again for joining us. Thanks Kev, absolutely. Kat, Simon, and Mike for playing with us today. This was not as intense of a session as the last
Speak
session
for
was.
yourself. I'm not crying. You're crying.
So many feels.
I was gonna say, like, score-wise, it wasn't not that intense, but it did provide some genuine great roleplay. Thank you a lot. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Stick with us. We're gonna be rating someone who I don't know, and
I'm going to give you the choice. I've got a few here. We can go to check D's out, playing Dungeons and Dragons. We can go to classy librarian Jenny that we haven't been to in a while, who is just chatting, so we can just chill out with a genuinely lovely person. Or, and I shudder to add this, we can go to Ravenstar Cosplay, who is playing Dream Daddy.
Let's go for Jenny.
We're going for Jenny. Cool. Fantastic. Right. Thank you.
So yeah, thank you again, everyone, for watching. Please come back again on Friday, where hopefully finally we take on the Witch Queen in the Benefactor, because apparently, like, the monkey paw that we wish we made is that instead of Curse Tuesdays, we now have Curse Fridays. Yeah. So, and after that, we next session of Lancer, a Fast Farewell, where we finally got our spanking new shiny new mechs.
Yep.
Mine is terrifying and I love it.
Yeah, we get to see Enkidu, the bloody raptor of the mech world, do its thing. So yeah, I'm slightly terrified now that we've allowed Rodrigo to unleash one of the new mechs from No Room for a Wallflower, but I really want to run it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, really want to run that. Anyways, so thank you again for watching. Take care, y'all.
Yep. We will be raiding soon. Please stay on.